Hello crafty friends, this is the Papered Chef here. Our long-awaited update is here. I'm going to show you in this tutorial how to use Fit to Path, or how to curve your text along a path. Last week, Brother came up with an update, and it was only available for several hours. Many of my viewers and I were able to download the update. I created a tutorial, and then my viewers, I apologize, were very frustrated when they went to download the software and it wasn't there. Well, I'm happy to say that version 2.3.1 has just been released as of February 6th. I've been checking every day, and it is available to you. I am using Canvas Workspace for the PC. That's not to say this is not available for the Mac, because it is available on some versions of the Mac. But that is what I am using. I'm using Windows 10. I'm using the installed version of Canvas Workspace. Due to the number of questions I receive from my subscribers and viewers, I am planning a tutorial where I will compare the features of the PC version of Canvas Workspace to the web-based version. That way, if you're not seeing what I'm showing you, it is because you're probably using a different version, and those things will become clear. The focus of this tutorial, however, is Fit to Path, or curving text. The first thing I want to show you is how to check the version of software that you are using on your computer. This doesn't just go for Canvas Workspace software. Usually in the Help menu of any software that you're using, you can find out which version of software you have by clicking on the About. I'm going to the last option, About Brother Canvas Workspace. I am using version 2.3.1, which was released on February 6, 2020. Okay, you can download this version and follow along with my tutorial, or you can watch my tutorial now, and at the end of this tutorial I will show you how to download the software. And then you can go back for reinforcement and follow along. The first thing we're going to do is add a shape to our mat. These are the three examples that we'll be creating in this tutorial. The first example I will show you is just, I'm going to put a circle on the mat. I'm going to add text to the mat, and then I'm going to fit the text to the path. So watch how I do this. I've added a circle to the mat. The circle is just a guide. The path itself will not be cut out with your ScanNCut when you send this file to be cut. Now I'm going to add text to the mat. I typed to fit to path, and it would cut out just fine because only the line needs to cut out, the outside line. However, I like to fill my text so that it's easier for me to see. Go up to the fill bucket and choose a dark color. That is how you fill the text to make it easier to read. Now, you don't have to make the text touch the path. You just have to select both of them together. And when you do, you'll be able to fit this text along the path. Watch how I do this. Both the shape and the text are selected. I'm going up to the Edit menu. I choose Edit, Fit to Path. Now, I'm going to take the little handle, which is the plus sign, and I'm going to move the text. Okay, notice you can move it anywhere along the path, or you can also use the horizontal alignment and vertical alignment buttons. I'm going to just use the horizontal alignments for now so you can see how they work. Notice when I did the center horizontal alignment that little handle or the little plus that I was using is now oriented to the middle of the fit to path. Notice how that position is also changed again to the right. And now notice how all the letters are spread out around the circle. So if you have a word that you're emphasizing or maybe creating a little animation, this might be something fun to do. But I think that's a little bit hard to read. It just depends on if it's your company's logo or what you're trying to do. Let's go back to the original. And that is how you fit text along a path. I'm going to clear that off my mat. I'm going to show you again how to create a shape, how to create text, how to attach it to a path, and then I'm going to show you the second example up here. I made room on my mat. I'm going to get another circle. I'm going to add some text. I'm going to fill it in so that it's easier to see. And the only time you really need to worry about that fill bucket or paint bucket is if you are using your coloring tools and you're trying to fill in and draw the patterns inside of the text. But I'm just doing it just to visually see, because only the outside of the text is actually going to cut out. I'm just doing that for myself. I'm going to select both. And edit fit to path. Okay, now I want to talk about the vertical alignment. The vertical alignment has to do with the text in relation to the path itself. So right now, the line is the path and the text is sitting along the line. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use the last option so you can see that the text is fitting inside the line. Okay, let me zoom in so you can really see that. Okay, so the path is on the outside. The text is now sitting inside of the path. And then the middle option of the vertical alignment is to make the text fit right along the path itself. It is oriented to the center of the path. I like playing around with these options because it saves me from having to work a lot with character spacing. Just by changing the orientation along the path changes the spacing of the letters. And then you can further change the spacing, and I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Okay, so this is the option I want. I do want the text on the outside of the path. However, let me zoom back out. If I were to just move it like that, my text would be upside down and hard to read. So you need to change your path direction. And you do that with the last option underneath the vertical alignment. When I did that, it went back to the inside of the path. I need to go ahead and change it to the outside of the path. And I have solved my problem. Now watch. I changed my path direction so that the F is at the beginning and you can read it, fit the path. And I changed my vertical alignment to the top, meaning it's going to be on the outside of the path. Now, I just taught myself how to use these features today, so I'm not sure what the exact vocabulary is that Brother is calling these, but I'm just showing you how to use it as I see it. I'm sure we're all going to be learning new things about these features as the time goes on, and I am not a Brother spokesperson, so I just learn like any other customer. I just fiddle around and teach myself things, and then I show my viewers. Okay, so as promised, I'm going to show you how to change the character spacing, because although orienting your text will do that, your font or your text, it will do that, but you can also further change the spacing, giving you more control. Okay, so that's how you increase your spacing. Now when I show you how to create your own path next with the Just Keep Swimming, it's going to be very important to change your spacing to make sure you take up the whole width of your curve that you created, or your path. Alright, so next thing I want to do is I'm going to delete this to make room. We're going to create the Just Keep Swimming. Just Keep Swimming uses a different kind of font. And it also uses what's called a freehand path. You can create any shape or any path, and you can orient text along that path. So the first skill I'm going to teach you is how to create the path itself, which is just a curve. I think it looks like a little wave. And then I'm going to show you how to change the font, or the font style. And then we'll go back over the spacing like we just did. How to change your spacing. Okay, let's delete this. Making lots of room. Now all a path really is, it's actually points. And you're going to be drawing the start and the end point using your mouse. And if you have a touch screen, you could use your touch screen. So I'm going to use the Freehand Path Tool to draw this curve. I clicked on it to select the tool. Now I'm going to click and hold my mouse and draw a curve along the map. Okay, I don't like that. I'm going to just delete that and try again. I want it to be a little more even. There, I like that curve. Now I'm going to type Just Keep Swimming in a different kind of font. So I'm going to show you how to change the font. So first select the text tool. And then go to the fonts and you have a drop down menu. Now is a good time to explain this. If you can't change your font, it's probably because you're using the web-based version. The really great thing about the installed version, or the Canvas Workspace for the PC version, is you can access all the fonts on your computer. I may have other fonts that you don't see. The PC and Mac have different fonts, system fonts they're called. And not only that, you can go online and download loads of fonts. I'm going to use the Bubblegum Sans font. And I do teach that in my courses, and another whole lesson. Okay, Bubblegum Sans is a nice font for this Just Keep Swimming. And I like to just go ahead and I'm going to type it, and then I'm going to make it blue so it's easier to read. Just like I said, a dark color. Okay, I've selected the text. I'm going to go change the color to a blue to make it easier to read. And now I'm going to, you guessed it, we're going to select the text, right, and the path we just created, and we're going to fit the path. Notice when I select, I just drag my mouse around both shapes. You can also select by, let me click away, selecting one object, holding the Shift key, and selecting another object. That will do the same thing as drawing around both of the shapes. Go up to Edit, Fit to Path. This is one of those times where spacing would look nice because the curve, that way you can make your text fit all the way along the shape that you just created. I think that would look good, like about 17. In other words, I'm just trying to fill my curve. All right, so after my last tutorial on this topic, my crafty friends wanted to know how to resize and, for when you're cutting out, how do you resize this path that you created? And I also wanted to show one more thing is how to detach your text from the path, because maybe you want to edit your text and then reattach it to the path. So let's first show you how to resize. Okay, so there are two ways to resize. So the first way is just to grab the corner. So I could resize just by taking this object and resizing it from a corner. Okay, so I'm just, whether you hold the Shift key or not, if you resize from a corner, things stay in proportion. All right, so next thing you could do is click on it and go up to Edit. See the Edit? It's beneath, we've been using the Properties panel this whole time, but now we're going to just use the Edit panel. And you can resize by making something exactly the size you want. And I would keep the Maintain Aspect Ratio checked off. So for example, if I'm putting this on a greeting card, it's only 5.5 inches wide, and my first matte layer is 5 inches wide, so I might make this 4.75 or something. And when I hit enter, it changes the size for me. So now that will fit on a greeting card. So those are a couple ways to resize your objects. Just making it larger so you can see it. So now I'm going to, before I show you how to go get the software, I'm going to show you how to transfer this to your Brother ScanNCut. And I was asked again a few questions last time. So just to show you, I'm talking about transferring this wirelessly because my machines, I have 3 machines and 2 of them are wirelessly enabled. So I'm going to transfer this wirelessly. However, if you have a USB stick or a USB cord, or a USB stick's also called a thumb drive, you could transfer it those ways as well if you don't have wireless enabled, but I'm going to just do it wirelessly. Go up to File. Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing. I'm going to click on it. When you want to detach it from a path, before I transfer it, I need to just show you one more thing. Go up to Layer, Release Text from Path. And why would you ever want to release the text from the path? Maybe you want to edit the text or change the font or something, and then you're going to reattach it when you're all done editing. This helps you for mass producing when you're creating a lot of projects. Maybe you want the same little curve but different names of each student in the class or each member of a team. Okay, that's when you would want to detach, edit, and reattach. Okay, so even with my notes, sometimes I forget to cover everything. So now let's show you how to transfer this to your machine. Okay, lastly, you're transferring it to your machine, but you can transfer it to any machine. So this will cut out with the CM models, the SDX models, etc. You can cut this out with vinyl. You can cut this out on cardstock, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so let's transfer it. Okay, so File, we want to transfer FCM file via the internet. I'm not sure what the warning is because it's blank. I'm just going to say, I clicked OK on the warning, and I don't know what the warning was because it was blank. Maybe that was one of the bugs they were trying to fix. Okay, so that's it. So now you're going to go to your machine. You're going to go to Retrieve Data, retrieve it from the little Canvas Workspace, and I've showed this on other tutorials, and that's how you're going to cut it. Okay, so let's say OK and go to the web now. This was an installed version. I'm using Windows PC, Windows 10. Okay, so that's what I'm using. And I'm going to go use Google Chrome. I'm going to use Google Chrome. And I want to show you something. If you were to log into your Canvas version of the web-based version of Canvas Workspace by going to canvasworkspace.brother.com, you will get this message. It's still there. The message says, a PC version of Canvas Workspace has been upgraded. And you can go ahead and download it there. And it's just going to send you to the same site I'm about to send you to. So if you can't remember what I'm saying, and it's also going to be in the notes, the description of the video, I'll also put it in the comment section for those of you maybe watching this on mobile devices in the description. Okay, but maybe if you're watching this on a TV, that's why I'm also saying the websites out loud. So let's just go over to where this is going to take you anyway. So if you click on the download, it's still going to take you to the support site. So let's just go to the support site where it would take you. So you're going to type in your browser. I'm using Google Chrome. It will work with any browser. support.brother.com. Pick your country or your region. And then you're going to click on Product Search. Search for your model of ScanNCut. For me, the software is really not going to matter because my software works. The PC version of the software I downloaded, it's really about my operating system, not about my model, but you just need to tell it that you're looking for ScanNCut software, really. And the software just differs whether it's a PC or Mac. But I'm going to click on SDX 125, even though, like I said, I just have one version on my computer, and it works with either model of my machine. Or all three, actually, all three models. Then you're going to go to Downloads. So we've selected our model. We've gone to Downloads. Okay, so I'm using Windows 10. I'm clicking OK. And I did experiment, and it was available for some versions of the Mac, but not all. Here's what I want. Canvas Workspace. Here's what you want. I already have it. Okay, I already have it, but this is what you want. Canvas Workspace. February 6, 2020. Version 2.3.1. Okay, that's what you want. So you're going to download it. It's 51 megabytes. It takes a while, maybe not too long, depending on your internet speed. You download it, you install it. You log in, and I would check off a button. I'm pretty sure there's a button that says keep me logged in for 7 days, and that's what I do. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to curve text or how to fit text to a path. I hope your wheels are spinning about all the different possibilities, and I can't wait to see what my crafty friends come up with using this new feature of Canvas Workspace. That's all for now. This is the Papered Chef.